Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will start paper 2 calculator based October-November 2025 O levels. Before I start my paper, I would like to share that if you want to go on the website of edusphereacademy.com, in the study material, you can see that there are some math resources. They are also uploaded this volume and surface area formula sheet. Along with that, we have, if we go back and if we look at this area perimeter, some algebra basics, and this is also continued in the progress. Along with that, if we look at the study material, the past papers O levels button has been created, and soon all the subjects will be added here. Okay, let's move on to the question paper. This is Cambridge O level paper 2. Paper 1 has already been uploaded, so you can go back and you can check. Okay, so the time for this paper is 2 hours. This is the list of formula sheet. And this is the question number 1. Now the question number 1 says that from the list, write down a square number. So the square number is only 49. So we will write 49. Students may get confused and they may write 169, but there is on top of it, there is a square root, which means it is not a perfect square. It is actually equal to 13. Same is the case, the square root 8 is not a cube because 8 is a cube number, but square root 8 is not a cube number. So we should not get confused from these numbers. Square number is only 49. Then a cube number is 27. This is a cube of 3, a factor of 26. Since I already told you that 169 square root is equals to 13. So it is a factor of 26 because 26 has two factors, 2 and 13. So 169 square root is equals to 13. So we will be writing 169 as 169 as a square, as a factor of 26. Then comes an irrational number. Irrational number is square root 8. Any number has a square root on top. And if it is not a perfect square or a perfect cube, and if there is a cube root or a square root on top of it, that is an irrational number. Okay. Now moving on to the next question, where we have to insert one set of brackets to make the calculations correct. Now, if we look at this question says that there is already one multiplication and there is one subtraction and one addition. Without brackets, the very first step is to go for multiplication. So if we check for multiplication, the answer of the left-hand side is not equals to the right-hand side. But if you apply the bracket on this one, and if you subtract it, and when you multiply it, the rest of the answer with 5, and then add the rest of the answers with 1.2, you will get 7.2. So this is the answer for this question. Then insert one of the brackets to make the calculations correct. Same is the case with this one. If we look at it and if we see all of these are minus and plus, but because we know that for the subtraction and addition, the rule is go from left to right. So for that, if we started from left side, we will not be able to get this one. But if we put a bracket on this operation, we will get 4 plus 2, which is 6. And this is 9. And 5 minus 9 is minus 4, minus 6. So we get minus 10, which is equals to the right-hand side. So it means that this bracket is proved to be successful. Next, we have the question where we are going to find out the total surface area of the cuboid. For the cuboid, when we are going to talk about the total surface area, there is a formula. Although you can use taking the areas of all the faces separately. But if you work upon the formula, it's very simple to use the formula. So the formula for the total surface area is 2 times length width plus 2 times width height plus 2 times height length. Because all the shapes in the cuboid are exactly double. Like for example, if we look at this rectangle and this, they are exactly same. Same goes with this rectangle and this rectangle. The two pair of rectangles, they are same. And the last, this one and this one is same. So 2 times length into width. First, we have to decide what is length, what is width, and what is height. The length will be considered as 4.7. The width will be considered as 3. And the height will be considered as 5.2. Now, when we multiply, we first have to multiply, since it's a calculator based question, so you can use calculator for this one. So we will be multiplying 2 times length and width. So length and width is 4.7 times 3 plus. Then we have to multiply width and height. So width is 3 and height is 5.2. Then we have to multiply 2 times height and length. So 5.2 times 4.7. So let me multiply and then multiply it with 2. So 4.7 times 3, when I use calculator, I get 14.1 plus 2 times, then 5.2 multiply by 3 is 15.6 plus 2 times, then 5.2 times 4.7. So I get 24.44. Now at this point of time, we're going to multiply all of them with 2. So I may take the common between all of them, or I can multiply. If I take common, it will be 14.1 plus 15.6 plus 24.44. And at this point, I'm going to add all of them. So 14.1 plus 15.6 plus 24.44. This is 54.14. And when I multiplied it with 2, I get 108.28 centimeters square. So this is the surface area of this cuboid. Now write down the number of planes of symmetry of the cuboid. We should be learning it that there are 3 planes of symmetry of the cuboid. Cube has 9 planes of symmetry. Okay. If you want to understand what are planes of symmetry, let me show you with the help of one example that if you have gotten, if you have a cuboid, suppose this is the cuboid, and how will we decide that what are the 3 planes of symmetry? So one of the plane of symmetry would be this way. This is going to be the one plane of symmetry. The next plane of symmetry would be the horizontal plane of symmetry. I'm going to shade it with different colors so we can see. This is going to be the horizontal plane of symmetry. This is one such plane of symmetry. And the last will be the plane of symmetry, which is in the form of, again, it's a vertical shape. And this would be this one. So there are 3 planes of symmetry. So you can say one horizontal, one vertical, 2 verticals and 1 horizontal. So these are the 3 planes of symmetry. Okay. Now, moving on to the next question. The question says that there are mathematics marks and the physics marks are shown here. Now the question is to complete the scatter diagram. So the first part is to complete the scatter diagram. For this, we have to look at the table. Although already these blocks have been filled up, only these are left out. So first we have to look at it. I am going to just carefully look at it because these are very small. So for 60 mathematics marks, so first we have to go at 60, which are mathematics marks. We have to choose 55 for physics. So 55 means exactly we are moving on to the middle of Asha. Okay, now, so I'm just, taking it a bit. For 60 and 55 to plot it carefully because we have to plot it very carefully. So this is going to be this point. To check the exact point, I'm just making a line so I can see over here it will be for 60. It's actually going to be this point. Okay. The next point for this one is given as for 45 mathematics, the value of physics is 37. So 45 mathematics, the value of physics is 37. So 37 means that 3 blocks before 40. So it's going to be 37. So again, I'm putting a line to make sure that the exact value I'm going to plot. You can also use a ruler to decide that which point you are going to draw. So then I'm going to draw it here. It will be this point. And then the third point is here, 78 for mathematics. Okay, so and 71 for physics. So 78. 78 means two blocks before this one, 78 for mathematics and 71 for physics. So 71 and 78. So I think it's here. Let me see. Yes, it's here. So I'm going to mark it here. Okay. So these are the points which I have mentioned. The first part is done. Now they say on the grid, draw a line of best fit. Now, as you already know that at least whenever we are drawing a line of best fit, it's important for us to draw it in such a way that at least 2 to 3 points should be, because there is a margin of, the line of best fit has a margin for every student at least. So they accept answers actually. So when we draw a line of best fit, I'm drawing it through, like, for example, if I take it this point, and if at least I am taking like these 2 points, I may take it like this, or I may take it like that. So the maximum points through that, they are actually covered. If I took this one, the maximum points are actually covered. So this could be a line of best fit. So on that, I'm going to draw with it. And I'm cropping it. So if I even it's not very good line, but fine. Okay. Now what I have to do for this, Xavier scored 75 marks in physics exam but was absent for mathematics. So use line of best fit to find the estimate for his mathematics. So we have to check for physics marks 75. So we are going on for physics 75 and we will estimate with the line of best fit. So 75 or 75, we have to check what is the value. So it's almost 76 for mathematics. So when it's for 75, let me check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's not 75. So I have to do once again because I think it's a bit. So I have to 75, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this line I have to check for my line of best fit. And for this, if I draw it exactly straight, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 76. Let me confirm it with the help of an answer key. It's 76. So let's see if we get the same answer. And we have answer key as well. So we can see they say that okay. So if they say reading from, okay, they did not give us any answer because they gave us the margin. So it will be 76. So I'm going to mark it over here. And it would be, for this one, I'm going to mark the value as this point. If I draw it like that, it would be roughly 76. So it would be 76. Or just in case, if I subtract it, if I highlight it, it would be even better. To highlight it, and this would be, so let me quickly highlight it. So the answer will be 76. So let me just write down the answer here. So for this one, for line of best fit, the answer is 76 for mathematics. Okay. In fact, we are writing it with this one. So 76 for mathematics. Okay. Moving on to this question. They have given us question number 5, in which they says, that there is an isosceles triangle, so we have to calculate the value of x. For this, we know that if there is an isosceles triangle, the sum of the angles of the triangle is always equals to 180. So we will write x plus 56 plus x, because if this is x, definitely this would also be x, equals to 180. And we always have to write the rationale. Sum of angles of a triangle is always equals to 180. So this is the rationale behind it is. So it will be 2x plus 56 equals to 180. Let me shift 180 minus 56. So again, you can use calculator for this purpose. So we are going to subtract 180 minus 56. So let me subtract 180 minus 56. I have 24, and x is equals to 124 divided by 2. So the final answer, let me just write it here. It's 124. 2x is equals to 124. And then after that, 2x is equals to 124. So the value of x will be equals to, when we divide it by 2, so we get value of x as 62. So you can confirm the answer with the help of a mark scheme as well. This is 62. Okay. Now coming to work out the value of y. Now look at this one. If we look at this y is actually a reflex angle of this x. Once we have found x, we know that since y is a reflex angle, so we will subtract the 62 from 360. And when we subtract it, 360, because the total, the sum of all the angles at a point around a circle is always 360. So when we subtract 360 minus 62, we get 298. You can also write a reason. Sum of angles at a point is 360. So this is the reason. So that's why the value of y is 298. Hope it's clear. Moving on to this question, workout. Now this question says that we have to find out the value, and the answer should be corrected to 2 decimal places. Now for this, first we are going to write 12 minus the cube root of 6. So we have to take the cube root of 6. Okay, so when we talk about this 12 minus cube root of 6 and divided by 0.3 squared. Now it's important that you, when such questions are coming up, you directly put the value in calculator. So you will be subtracting 12 minus, I'm going to subtract it exactly, the cube root of, I'm putting it in the calculator, cube root of 6. And the answer should be divided by 0.3 square. So I'm directly putting everything, and I got directly, the answer I got is 113.1431, so on. But since they have written that the answer should be corrected to 2 decimal places, so I will write 113.14, because if I round it, this 4 will not be rounded about. So directly put it in the calculator. Now work out the size of the interior angle of a regular decagon. Decagon means the 10-sided shape. 10-sided shape. And for the 10-sided shape, okay, so size of an interior angle of a regular decagon. So we will be using this, that 10-sided shape. So we will be finding out the size of an interior angle by writing interior angle, which is equals to n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So if n is 10, so we are going to put 10 minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So that's going to be, so let me calculate it by using, sorry, this should be 10. Let's take the right end here. So it's going to be 10. So 10 minus 2, 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 times 180. So we are going to divide it by 10. So we get 144. So the angle is going to be 144. So I'm writing 144 here. Okay, now the next question says that John invests $240 in an account that pays simple interest at the rate of 2.35% per year. So this is the rate of interest. Calculate the total amount of interest. We only have to calculate I. total amount, say we can guess some of the students may find the total amount, but there is no need to calculate it. Simply find I is equals to PRT over 100. So when we multiply the principal amount, which is $240, times the rate of interest, which is 2.35, multiply the time period, which is 5 years, divided by 100, and we will get the result as, let me see, by using this calculator again, 240 times 2.35 multiplied by 5 divided by 10. So I get simple 280. So let me confirm the answer as well, that the answer of this one is yes, 28.2. Let me just see once again, but it's $240 times 2.35 times 5 by 100. Yes, it's equals to $28.2. Okay. Now moving on to the next question, where they are talking about the exchange rate. Between the euros and the pounds, the exchange rate is given. And then the exchange rate between the dollars and the pound is given, which is $1 for X pounds. Link changes 500 euros into dollars. She receives this much amount. So what we have to calculate? Now we know these are the euros. So for euros and pounds, we are given, and then for pounds and dollars, we are given. So we can do it in two ways. First, we are going to write the exchange rate between euros ratio pounds. So euros ratio pound is for euros, 1 euro is for 0.88 pounds. So we know that link exchange into dollars, but she receives this in dollars. So it means we first have to calculate. Okay, let me just solve it. So what we are going to do, we have this 500 euros. So we are going to first convert it into pounds, and 500 euros, and this is X. So for the with the method of direct proportion, we can cross multiply, and we will get X is equals to the pounds are equal to 500 times 0.88. So let me multiply 500 with 0.88. I get 440 pounds. 440 pounds, and this is this one, 440 pounds. Now at this point of time, what we have to do, we have to calculate from the pounds and dollar, because we are not knowing it. The exchange rate is also not given, but they told us that for the pounds, for the dollars and pounds, it's given. For the dollars, they say for this, I'm going to write dollars. I'm going to write pounds, because we do not know. So for $1, there are X pounds, but for 500 euros, we have to check 500. Oh, sorry, for 440 pounds, so we are going to write 440. For 440 pounds, we have to check the number of dollars. So we will be taking this, and that we are going to divide. So I have to write $440, and I have to check the value of pounds. So let me just quickly find it out. Okay. She receives actually these many dollars. So I mistakenly write the dollars here like this. So I'm going to subtract. So the dollars are given as, the dollars she receives is 536. 136 point, 58. Now I'm going to take a cross multiplication. So we will write 536.58. X is equals to 440. So we will divide this 440 by this value 536.440 over 536.58. So let me just divide it. 440 divided by 536.58. So I get the value as 0.82000, but we are going to give the value at the second decimal place. So it will be 0.82, and the value will be the value of x's as the value of so because we had to calculate into dollars. Yes, so this is the answer for this question. Okay. Now, what it is, there is a question of 4 patterns in the sequence. Now we can see the patterns here. Pattern number 1 has 4 dots. Then the pattern number 2 has the same pattern has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically 5 dots for the first pattern, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dots are included. In this one, there are 9 dots. And in this one, there are 13 dots. So if we look at it, it's 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13. So 13 plus 4. So first we have to calculate by adding 13 plus 4. And when we add 13 plus 4, we get 17 because it's 17. And then 17 plus 4 will be equal to 21. So first we have to complete the table because this was the first part. Now they say find an expression for the number of the dots in the pattern n. Since we know it's an arithmetic sequence, because every single time we are adding plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. So it's an arithmetic sequence. So first we will write it's an arithmetic sequence. And for arithmetic sequence, we have a formula for the nth term, that is an is equals to a1 plus d bracket n minus 1. D is the common difference, which is 4. A1 is the first term of the sequence, which is 5. So if we replace all these values, we will get kn or tn as up to you. So we will write 5 plus the common difference is 4 n minus 1. So when we expand it, we get 5 plus 4 n minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So final answer is 1 plus 4n or 4n plus 1. It's up to you how you write it. This is for the pattern n. Now they say Nada needs 1105 dots to make the pattern P. Now, since we know that the number of dot sequence, this is for the number of dots. So we are going to write for the same sequence, but here we are going to replace n with p. So we will write 4p plus 1 should be equals to 1105. So we are going to write 1105. Now we are going to take this one on the side. So 4p is equals to 1105 minus 1, which is 4p is equals to 1104. Now we are going to divide p is equals to 1104 divided by 4. Let me divide it. 1104 divided by 4. So we get 276. So the value of p is 276. Now moving on to, now here we have A is the point given as AB A is the point minus 4, 3, and B is given as 2, comma minus 7. So first we have to calculate the value of AB. Now we know that this AB vector should be equals to AO plus OB. So the position vector. Now AO, since OA is given as previously OA means A is the point, so OA is given as minus 4 and 3. This is given as minus 4, 3. So when we are taking AO, this will be replaced. So AO will be, because here we have AO, so the direction changes, then the sign changes, so it will be 4 minus 3. So I'm replacing this with 4 minus 3 plus OB. OB is already given, which is 2 minus 7. So for this, we have 4 plus 2, which is 6. And minus 3 and minus 7, it's minus 10. So we get that is 6 minus 10. Okay. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of the line AB. So for the midpoint, we know the formula is x1 plus x2 by 2. Sorry, mistaken. Okay. And comma y1 plus y2 by 2. This is the formula. So here we are going to use the formula x1 minus 4 plus 2 by 2, comma 3 minus minus plus, so it will be 3 minus 7 by 2. So we get minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2 by 2. 3 minus 7 is minus 4 by 2. So eventually we get 1 minus 1 comma minus 2. So we had minus 1 minus 2. This was given. Okay. Now they have provided us the vector CD, and we have to calculate the magnitude of CD. We know that for finding the magnitude of CD, we have to use this one. So minus 5 square plus 11 square. So let me find out the value. Minus 5 square means whenever we take a square of negative number, it's always positive. So it's 25 plus 11 square, which is 121. Okay, students, if you want to get the solved paper, it will be available on the website very soon. So keep on looking at the website and get for more updates every day. We are going to add this the square of 11 and square of 5, which is 25 plus 121, we get 146. And when we take a square root of 146, we get the answer as 12.08. Because we know that we always have to, although it's 12.083 so on, but we will be taking it to second decimal place. Sorry, 12 point should be 12.08. Okay, so it's 12.08. Next, we have write this number in the standard form. We know that this 0.0142, so 1, 2, 3. So we will be writing 1.42 since we are coming from the back side. So it will be 10 raised to the power minus, sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's minus 3. So the answer is 1.42 exponent minus 3. Let me confirm the answer. And the answer is, okay, just let me see one more. Sorry, mistakenly. I'm very sorry. Actually, I was looking at the number. This is minus 2. The reason behind it is that we are not going to the number. We will be shifting the decimal after the first decimal place. So I was not able to look at it. So it will be coming after 1. Yes, it's minus 2. That's why I was checking the answer particularly. Okay, now this is the answer for the standard number. Now the numbers in the calculations are written like this, and we have to calculate the value of this one, this x and y. Okay, we know that when we are multiplying the values, we basically do what? We multiply the number with number and we take the powers to be added. So we will write 3.2 times x. So we are multiplying it with x. And we are going to add the numbers, the powers, add the powers of the 10. So it will be minus 4 plus y. Here. Now we are going to compare it with this value because it's 2.6 times 10 raised to the power 3. So categorically, we will be comparing this 3.2x with this 3.2x will be compared with this 2.6, and this will be compared with this comparison. Okay, this is comparison. So we are going to write is equals to 2.6, it's 2.6 here. And we will be finding the value of 2.6 divided by 3.2. So let me see the value by dividing it. So I'm going to divide 2.6 divided by 3.2. So I get the value as 0.81. So it's 0.8125. Now I have to, because we have to write the answer. Okay, now this one is this one is minus, now we are comparing the powers, minus 4 plus y equals to 3. So y is equals to 3 plus 4, which is 7. So the value of x will be, now let me confirm the value because we are converting the answer. Now, for this, if we are writing, because this answer is written in the form of, must be written in the form of standard. So actually this, because since we have found it's 0.8125 into 10 raised to the power 7. But if we convert this into standard form, it will become 8.125 exponent 1 minus 1, and because we are shifting the decimal from backside, and this 10 raised to the power 7. So combining these two, we will get 8.125 exponent 6. So the final answer of x will be 8.125 as the value of x, and the value of y will be 6. Now, I hope it's clear. Now, these are the simultaneous equations, and we must have to show our working. Again, it's totally up to us with which methodology we are going to solve this. It's upon our own, but I am going to recommend you that use elimination method to solve this. We know that this is 2a plus 5b equals to 1.5, and this is, so we can do one thing. If we multiply this with 2, we will be finding it, we will be making b, the coefficient of b equal to 10. So the equation will be 2 2s are 4a plus 10b equals to 3. And now when we are comparing this equation with this, we will get 4a plus 10b equals to 3, and 3a minus 10b equals to 42.5. So I'm going to subtract this because the signs are already opposite. So 4a plus 3a is 7a equals to, and I'm going to add 42.5 with 3, that is 45.5. And then we are going to divide this 45.5 with 7. So let me divide this by 7, we get 6.5. So the value of a is 6.5. Now we will replace this with in any one of the equations. So I'm replacing it in the equation number 1. So for this, because this was equation number 1 and this was equation number 2, so I have to write that put a is equals to 6.5 in equation 1. So I'm putting it 2 times a, which is 2 times 6.5 plus 5b equals to 1.5. So here 2 times 6.5 is 2 multiplied by 6.5 is 13 plus 5b equals to 1.5 and 5b equals to 1.5 minus 13. So let me subtract 1.5 minus 13. I get minus 11.5. 5b equals to minus 11.5. So when I divided it, minus 11.5 divided by 5, what do I get? Let me divided by 5, so I get minus 2.3. So the value of a is 6.5 and the value of b is minus 2.3. Moving on to the next question. This is question number 14. This says that the population of the country increases exponentially at the rate of 3.6 years. On the 1st January, the population of the country is 5.4 million. So what we have to do, we have to, this is 5.4 million, this is 3.6%. So what we have to calculate the number of complete years. So basically we have to find out the time value. So we will write, we know that the value of a is equals to p1 plus r by 100 power t. Now we will be replacing this a with 5.4 because this is the final value of the population. So it's 5.4 million means that we are going to write 10 raised to the power 6 equals to, then the population exponentially, and they say that the population is not given. So we will be writing p as it is because this is what we have to calculate. 1 plus 3.6% rate divided by 100 times t. For this, we are going to write 5.6 exponent 6. 5.4 exponent 6 is equals to p. 1 plus 0.36 and power t, because we have to calculate the time period. So this p will be, still I'm going to write here 5.4 times 10 raised to the power 6 is equals to p. 1.36 power t. Now I'm going to shift it to this side, and I have to divide it actually to check what is it. So here, okay. So the value they have, okay, they told us that the value is, okay. I mistakenly do a mistake here, students. I'm really very sorry. This is actually the value I didn't see. This is 8 million. So I'm going to replace this with this. The rest of the steps are exactly equal. And it's very important always to read the question carefully. So it's 8 million. So the value, the final value is 8 million. So I'm going to replace the final value with 8 million, which is 8 times 10 raised to the power 6, which is equals to 5.4 into 10 raised to the power 6. So here, which is, when I'm going to divide this 8 million, first I'm going to divide this 8 million. Now this value will be divided over here. So 8 million divided by 5.4 million equals to this one. So here when we divide it, what do we get? When we divide it, we get, let me just divide the value first, and that is 8 million. This divided by 5.4. Because we know that this 10 raised to the power 6 and 10 raised to the power 6 are cancelled. So when I divided 8 by 5.4, I get 1.481. So I'm writing 1.481. Now for this, I need to know, because these are not the proper composite numbers. I cannot take, to make the bases equal, there is no proper composite number to take the prime factorization. So what I can do, I can be taking so many different combinations to check. If I take the power of 1.36 to the power, suppose if I'm taking 1.36 to the power 11. So I'm going to check 1.36 to the power 11. So what I get exactly almost similar to this one. So if I take the power 1.36 power 12, I get exactly, not exactly, but I can say it's almost equals to this. So the value of t is equals to 12 years. Because if you compare it, I compared so many different values. I took 1.36 to the power of 5, 6, 7, till 11, it was below 1.4. Yeah, it was below that value. So when I took it to 12, it is almost equals to this. So it's 12 years. Next, we have this value of x and y is given. So x is a positive integer greater than 2. Find the highest common factor of each of x and y. So the highest common factor, before I write, I have to write x is equals to 2 square into 3 power n into 3 power 1, because when the bases are same, the powers are added. So when the bases are multiplied, the powers are added. So if I have to split it up, I have to write 3n plus 1 as 3 power n and 3 power 1 times 7. And for y, I have to write 2 power n into 3 power n into 7 power 4. Now the point here is, when we take the HCF, it's always very important to take the common. It means, and they have already told us that n is a positive integer which is greater than 2. So it means when we are taking common, so definitely this n means which is greater than 2. So this n has at least 2 square, and 2 square are definitely common. Definitely this n power, because when suppose if we have 2 square, so that's equals to 2 times 2. And if we have 2 cubed, suppose this n is 3, so it will be 2 times 2 times 2. So at least these 2 square will be common in these two. If n is 3, suppose if n is 3, definitely this 2 square is at least common. So what I have to do in 2 power n and 2 square, definitely I will be taking common as 2 square. So one of the common will be 2 square. Again, 3 power n and 3 power n is common, so I will be taking 3 power n common. For 7 and 7 power 4, at least 7 is common. And since we are not giving our answer as a perfect answer, so this is going to be the answer, 3 power n into 7. Okay, question number 16. For this question, they say that A is the point and B is this point. Find the equation of the line and give the answer in the form of this one. So first of all, we have to find out the value of the gradient, because in this form, this is the gradient and this is the y-intercept. So I'm writing the value of gradient through a formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 says 4 minus minus plus, so 4 minus minus 2 over 5 minus 3. So I get 4 plus 2 is 6, 5 minus 3 is 2, so it's equals to 3. Now, When I put it, it will be y is equals to 3x plus c. Any one of the coordinates I have to put and find the value of c. So I'm using this coordinate as 5x and y is 4. So 4 is equals to 3 times 5 plus c. Now 3 5s are 15 plus c equals to 4. So I'm shifting this to the other side. So 4 minus 15 is equals to 3. So when we subtract 15 minus 4 actually, so it's equals to 11. But since it's negative, the bigger number is negative, so it will be minus 11 is equals to c. So the final equation will be y is equals to 3x minus 11 because the value of c is minus 11. So this is the equation 3x minus 11. Write down the gradient of a line which is perpendicular to the line. If the line has already a gradient 3, and if there is another line which is perpendicular to this line, there is a property that for perpendicular, if the two lines are perpendicular, the gradient is the opposite and the reciprocal also. Through a formula, m1 into m2 equals to minus 1. So we know m1 is, if m1 is given as 3, into m2 we have to find out which is a line, perpendicular line, minus 1. So m2 will be equals to minus 1 by 3. So here the value of m2 or the gradient is minus 1 by 3. Moving on to this question, the table shows the time taken by 30 people to complete a race. Calculate the estimate of the mean. Okay, so we know that for the mean we have to calculate, this is the time, which is the class intervals, this is the frequency. So first we have to calculate the value of x by taking the midpoint. Now the midpoint of these values 20 plus 30. The way how we calculate 20 plus 30, which is 50, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. This is the value of x. 30 plus 50, 80. 80 divided by 2 is 40. 50 plus 60. 50 plus 60 is, what do we get? 110 divided by 2 is 55. 60 plus 90, so we get 150 divided by 2, which is equals to 75. So first we calculated the value of x. Now fx. Fx will be 25 times 20. So let me multiply. I will be taking 20 multiplied by 25. I get 500. Then 40 multiplied by 26. So it's 1024, oh, sorry, 1040. Then 55 multiplied by 29. So it's 1595. And then 75 multiplied by 5. So I get 375. Now, since we know that the value of mean is sum of data items divided by the number of data items. So I have to n. This is sigma fx over sigma f. So sigma fx means that we have to add the whole fx column here, and sigma f means that we have to calculate the frequency column here, frequency row here. So I'm going to add it. So first I'm going to add all the fx values, and 500 plus 1040 plus 1595 plus 35. I get 3170 here. So I'm writing 3170. It's 3170 here. And then I'm going to add all the frequency row. So the frequency row is 20 plus 26 plus 29 plus 5. So I get 80. So I'm going to put 80 here. And now I'm going to divide 3170 divided by 80. I get 39.625. Now look at the answer key. The answer will be given as so it's the value of this one. Let me check. The calculate of the mean value. Let me quickly confirm the value as 43. So just let me check if I have mistakenly multiplied. Okay, that I think when Okay, maybe if I add it, let me just quickly check. Let me confirm it. So students, there was a mistake here, only this mistake, because of this mistake, my answer was incorrect. Actually, it was multiplying 75 with 5, I mistakenly right. It was that when I multiplied it with calculator, mistakenly right 35, it was 375. So when I'm going to add all of them, the value of this will be definitely changed. And just because of the value will be changed, the answer will be updated. So here, when I'm going to add it, 500 plus 1040 plus 1595 plus 375, I get 3510. And when I divided 3510 by 80, I get yes. So the answer is, let me add it. It's 375 plus 1595 plus 1040 plus 500. I get 3510. So when I divided this with 80, I get 43.875. This was my mistake. Okay. Now we have gotten the next question where 2 of the 80 people are selected at random. And in this, find the probability that it takes 30 minutes or less than, and the other takes more than 60 minutes to complete the race. Now we know that according to this question, if we look at it, the question has 2 of the 80 people. So there are total 80 people. So when we are selecting the people at random, as there are total 80 people and the 2 of the people selected at random. So first we have to take a person from which is it takes 30 minutes or less. So 30 minutes or less, we have this one. If I'm going to highlight this one. And if I would like to see more than 60 minutes, so this is the number of the now I would like to see that if I'm taking a person, so basically because there are 2 people selected at random. So if I take this 20 and 20 out of 80, so I'm just writing it here. So if it is 20 out of 80, this is the probability. We know that if we make a probability and basically the 2 people are selected at random, so it means if one person is already less than that. So 20 out of 80, then the next person would be 5 out of 79. But if we take this first, so we can write 5 out of 80, right? Times 20 out of 79. 79, why I'm taking 79? Because one person is already chosen. So when we are taking this, let me do the calculation. So I have to, basically I'm writing this 20 times 5, which is 100, over 80 times 79. So I get 6320 plus 100 over 6320. So if I take the LCM, it would be 6320, 100 plus 100. So it would be 200 by 6320. And when I divided it, I get, and if I can simplify it, 200, maybe I can just simply simplify it by 5. So 200 by 5, or I can simply cut this 0. So I can take it 632 and 20. So let me check. 632 divided by 4 is 158. So 4 5s are 20 and 4 158s are. So the final probability will be 5 5 158, or you may even write 200 by 6320. Okay. Now comes this. Right as a single fraction or simplest form. So it's 2x by 3y multiply by 9 by 8x. I changed this into a reciprocal, so this is cancelled. And this 3 1s are 3, 3 3s are 9, 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8. So I get 3 over 4y. 4y. So let me confirm the answer 3 by 4y. Yes, 3 by 4y is the final answer. Now let's move on to this question where there is, again, we have to simplify. So whenever we are simplifying, it means we have to factorize it. We have to factorize the numerator separately. We have to factorize the denominator separately. So it would be, so when I'm factorizing it, 250s are 100. 2 times 50 is 100. So I have to take the factors of 100. 1 times 100, 2 times 50. Then if I have to, so 100 divided by 4 is 4 times 25. If I have to divide it 100 by 5, I get 5 into 20. And then if I have to divide it by 10, so 10 tens are 100. And then all of them are later on repeated. So 5 and 20 can be taken as the factor through. If I subtract 20 minus 5, I get 15. And since the sign of the 15 is positive, so I will be taking plus 20 and minus 5. So here I'm going to write 2x squared plus 20x minus 5x minus 50 over here it's a square minus b square, which is equals to a plus b into a minus b. It's a square of 2x and it is a square of 5. So I'm going to write it here. Take common from the first two terms, so it's 2x, x plus 10, minus 5 is taken common. And again, because of this minus sign, the next sign will be changed. So it will be x plus 10. Over here, it's 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5. So this is going to be 2x minus 5 times x plus 10 over 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5. So when I simplified it, I get x plus 10 over 2x plus 5. So I'm writing it here, x plus 10 over 2x plus 5. Moving on to the next question where it says that the car travels 320 kilometers corrected to the nearest 10 kilometers. So 320 kilometers corrected to 10 kilometers. And then next is the journey takes 5.2 hours corrected to 5.2 hours corrected to nearest 0.1 hour. We have to find out the lower bound and the upper bound. We know that when we are calculating, okay, we have to calculate the lower bound for the average speed. Now, speed has a formula, distance over time. Now, when we are dividing, and if we are calculating the lower bound of the average speed, and we are dividing for the divide rule for lower bound, the rule is to take the lower bound of the top divided by the upper bound of the bottom. This is how we have to divide it. So the lower bound of this one, the distance, first we have to calculate by, first we have to take the, we have to find out the distance. Okay, so the distance is, let me just, and if we see the distance is rounded to 10 kilometers. So when we divide 10 by 2, we get 5. So it means that we have to add either 5 or subtract 5 kilometers. So for the distance, we have to see that 320 plus 5 is the upper bound. And for the lower bound of the distance, it will be 320 minus 5. So I'm going to subtract 320 minus 5. So I get 315 for the lower bound of the distance. And for the upper bound of the time. For the time, if we see that we are going to divide it by 0.1. So again, I'm going to divide this 0.1 by 2. I get 0.05. So for 0.05, if I have to add 0.05 into 5.2, so the upper bound of 0.05 will be, so I'm going to add this 5.2 plus 0.05, I get 5.25. So this is the upper bound as 5.25. Now I'm going to use the formula. So the lower bound of the distance divided by the upper bound of the time. Lower bound of the distance is 315 divided by the upper bound of the time It's not okay. And the upper bound of the time is 5.25, so I have to divide it. So let me divide 315 divided by 5.25, I get 60. So 60 kilometer per hour. Let me confirm the answer over here. So it's 60. Okay. Now, students, we have to move on to the next question. And there I have. Okay, so this question says that the diagram shows a rectangular triangular field that it's a triangular field ABC. AB is given 65, AC is given 75, and CAB angle is this one. Show that this angle BC is equals to 124.3. Correct to miss one decimal place. For this, what we have to do, we are going to use the formula because we know that when we are using law of cosines, when the two adjacent sides and the angle in between is given, we use the law of cosines. For the law of cosines, we know that we are going to find out the value of BC. So we will be writing BC as the third side. So BC square should be equals to AB square plus, we have to write it plus AC square minus 2 times AB into AC into cos of 125. This is what we have to do. Now we are going to write AB as, since it's given AB as 65, so we are going to write 65 square plus 75 square minus 2 times 65 into 75 into cos of 125. So let me write cos of 125 is what? Cos of 125, that is equals to, that is, okay. So I am going to put everything in a calculator and I will directly get the value of BC as BC square. I will get the value of BC square as 15442.37. So when I have to take the square root on both sides, I will get the final value as 124.3 because we have to calculate the value till first decimal, rounded to first decimal place, and this is our answer. Now, what we have to do, we have to find out the angle ABC. For this angle ABC, if I move on to this one, the angle ABC, we can use the law of cosines, law of sines, because this angle against 75, and we know this side against 125. So we have already the value. So we are using the law of sines. Now I'm going to use law of sines here. Now here we used law of cosines. It's mentioned that we have used the law of cosines here, and now we are going to use the law of sines here. For the law of sines, I'm going to write 124.3, which we just found, by sine of 125, because this was the angle, equals to 75 over sine of angle ABC. Now, at this point of time, we have to take the cross multiplication. So we will take this to the side and rest everything on the other side. So sine of ABC angle is equals to 75 times sine 125 by 124.3, and the answer is sine of angle ABC, we get 0.49425, and when we take us inverse of, we are going to take the inverse of this angle, so it will be ABC angle. ABC will be equals to sine inverse of this value, 0.49425, and we get the angle as, let me take the value of shift sine inverse of 0.4945. So if I'm putting it on the calculator, I get 29.62. So the angle is 29.62. Over here, I have to calculate the shortest distance from A to BC. A to BC means the shortest distance from A to BC. This is going to be the shortest distance. Okay, the shortest distance means that we can use it as a right angle triangle. This is a right angle triangle. This angle we already know. So let me write it here. There will be a right angle triangle. And that right angle triangle, let me just draw it out a bit bigger. So you can see if there is a right angle triangle, there is an angle 29.62. There is an angle we just have found, and this side is unknown, and this side is given as 65. Let me show you how. This is 65, this angle I have taken, and this I'm going to find out the shortest distance. So for this I'm going to use, because it's perpendicular over hypotenuse, so we will be taking as sine 29.62 equals to perpendicular over hypotenuse, and the value of x is multiplying 65 with this. So what do we get? 32.13 meter. Okay. Now moving on to this one, we arrange to make A as the subject. So first we are going to shift it to this side. So W into 3A minus 1 equals to 2A plus 5. W3A, we will first expand it. It will be 3AW minus W equals to 2A plus 5. We will be taking this 2A on this side. So 3AW minus 2A equals to 5 plus W. It will be, when we are taking A common, so it will be 3W minus 2 equals to 5 plus W. And when we take this bracket on the other side, since it's multiplied, so it will be A is equals to 5 plus W over 3W minus 2. So the final answer is 5 plus W over 3W minus 2. Students, you can get the solved solution, inshallah, very soon on the website. It will be uploaded. Now sketch the graph of y is equals to 2 minus 3x. We can use y-intercept and x-intercept, and we can sketch a graph. It's a very simple linear equation. So if we put y is equals to 0, we get 0 is equals to 2 minus 3x. So we get 3x is equals to 2, and x is equals to 2 by 3, and 2 by 3. And for that, x is equals to, if we divide it, it's 0.6. So the ordered pair is 0.6, comma 0. And the other value, if I take it, so if I put x as 0, so it will be y is equals to 2 minus 0, so y is equals to 2. So the next value is 0, comma 2. So for this, if it is, suppose this is 1 and this is 2, so this is 0, comma 2. And 0.6 is the, for example, if it is 1, so this would be almost 0.6. And if I'm going to draw the line to, suppose if I'm sketching the line should be properly drawn. Okay. Now at this point of time, what we are going to do, the line is not drawn very properly. Let me just tell you that you can draw a line with the help of scale. But since I do not have a scale, so I'm just drawing it. I'm just sketching it without, but you have to draw it neatly. Okay. So the next question says that we have to complete this in the form of A bracket x minus b whole square. Now, we know that since it's not a square, 2x square is not a square. So first I'm going to take this 2 as common from the whole equation. So it will be x square minus 4x minus 3. Sorry, this will be, when I'm taking common, it will be x square minus 4x divided by 2 is 2x minus 3 by 2. At this point of time, I'm going to take, it is a square of x minus 2 times a. B will be always, when you divide this coefficient by 2, so you get 1. So we will be adding 1 square minus, and you also have to subtract 1 square. This is a very common scenario. Whenever we are going to add anything, we have to subtract it, because we are adding ourselves this b square. Why we are adding b square? Because we know that a plus b whole square, we are completing a plus b, because it will be completed as a minus b whole square. So we are going to write, if it is a minus b whole square, it is equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square. So that's why I'm adding this b square. If I'm adding this, I have to subtract the square as well. And this is already here minus 3 by 2. Now, this will be written here. Till here we have a square. So what we are going to write, we will be writing 2. This is going to be x minus 1 whole square minus 1 minus 3 by 2. So first I'm going to take LCM here. So it will be 2 bracket x minus 1 whole square minus 2 minus 3 by 2. And this will be equal to, so it will be 2 bracket x minus 1 whole square minus 5 by 2. Here at this point, I'm going to open up and expand this. So it will be 2 bracket x minus 1 whole square. 5 by 2, when it is multiplied with 2, it's 5. So the final answer is this one. Final answer is 2 bracket x minus 1 whole square minus 5. Let me move on to this question. We have to sketch the graph and label the y-intercept as well. Okay, now what we are going to sketch? The graph of 2x squared minus 4x minus 3. It's already given. Like what we have done here, it was the same equation. So we have to sketch the graph of this. Since we already know that the graph, since it's here, minus 1 and minus 5 is here. So what we have to do here, before the graph, we always have to first find out because for this, we cannot make a full complete graph. So what we can do, we have to find out the turning point. For the turning point, there is a very basic formula, and that is x is equals to minus b over 2a. What is meant by minus b over 2a? B is this is b is minus 4, and a is 2. So we are going to replace this. So x is equals to minus 4 by 2 into 2. So it will be positive 4 over positive 4. So x is equals to 1. So if I put this x is equals to 1 into this equation, put this x is equals to 1 in equation. So it will be, let me do it. Equation is y is equals to 2x squared minus 4x minus 3. So I'm going to put it 2 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 minus 3. So it is 2 minus 4 minus 3. 2 minus 4 is minus 2. Minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5. So the value of y is minus 5. So the coordinate is 1 comma minus 5. So the turning point is, I will write turning point is 1 comma minus 5 through that. This is the formula for the turning point. Okay. Now 1 comma minus 5 means that first we have to see that where the value of this 1 will lie. So this is the positive 1, and minus 5 will be almost here. So this is going to be the point 1 comma minus 5. So if we are going to sketch a graph, and since we already know that this minus 3 is going to be the y-intercept. So if it is minus 3, so the graph will come and touch this point. The graph will be turning at this point and will be making the graph. So we have to draw the graph like this. So this is going to be the graph. This minus 3 is the y-intercept. So we can write it here. This is how we have made it. Next question is, now we have to solve this. Solving this means that first we have to take this x plus 3 and x minus 5 at the bottom. And we are going to multiply this x with x minus 5, this 4 with x plus 3. At this point, what we are going to do, x squared, when we are expanding this, minus 5x minus 4x minus, because this minus will change the sign, 4 3s are 12. And in the denominator, we have x minus, so over here, we can write x squared plus 3x minus 5x minus 15 equals to 1. So x square minus 9x minus 12 is equals to this whole will be gone to this side and will be multiplied with 1. So it's x square. And also I have simplified. So it's minus 2x minus 15. Now I'm going to take everything on this side. So I will be subtracting this x square and x square from both sides. So it is cancelled. So I get minus 9x plus 2x is equals to minus 15 plus 12. So I will have minus 7x is equals to minus 3. At this point of time, I will have this x is equals to minus 3 by minus 7. This minus and minus is cancelled. So the final answer is 3 by 7. Let me confirm it through the answer key. And that is, yes, 3 by 7. Okay. Now moving on to this expand and simplify. So when we are expanding and simplifying, we get, first I'm going to expand and simplify this one. So it's x squared minus 1x plus 3x minus 3. And then it's 3x minus 4. Simplifying this, we'll get x squared plus 4x minus 3. And if I have to multiply it with 3x minus 4. Now I have to expand this. So first x squared will multiply with 3x. Then x squared will be multiplied with 4. Same this with this, this with this, and the third time this with this, and this with this. So x squared with 3x, we get 3x cubed. X squared with 4x minus 4x. 4x with 3x will be plus 12x squared. 4x with 4 is minus 16x. Minus 3 with this is minus 9x. Minus 3 with minus 4 is plus 12. Let's simplify it. So we get 3x cubed. Minus 16 minus 4 is minus 20. Minus 20 and minus 9 is minus 29x. Let me try. Sorry, this was x squared. I mistakenly, I think I have this was x squared. Let me just check quickly. When I said multiplied, I get 3x squared. 4x with 3x is 12x squared. 4x with 4 is 16x. And of course, minus 4x squared. Okay, x squared with 4 is minus 4x squared. Sorry, I mistaken here. So it will be minus 4x squared. And then 4x with 4 is minus 16x. 4x with 3 is plus 12x squared. Let me just quickly check. Now after this, when I'm going to check, it's 6x squared. So 4x squared and 12x squared. 3x minus 4. And here. Okay, students, you can see I mistakenly wrote 4x here, so I rub it. 3x minus 1x is 2x. So x squared with 3x, I get 3x squared. X squared with 4 is minus 4x squared. Plus 2x and plus 3x, 2 3s are 6x squared. 2x with minus 4 is minus 8x. Minus 3 and 3 minus 9x. Minus minus plus 12. So it will be this one. Now let's see. 3x squared minus 3x cubed. Okay, so for minus 4x squared, this was minus, this was 3x cubed. So here, 3x cubed will be written as it is, plus 6x squared, minus 4x squared will be written plus 2x squared. This is going to be minus 17x, and this is plus 12. Okay, this is the final answer. Moving on to the last question, which is a cuboid. And here we have to show that CE is equals to 17.1 correct to 1 decimal place. Now all the values are given show that this 7 CE. So what is CE? C is going to be this one. So for this first we have to find out this because we are calculating this one. So for CE, because CE will be found by finding first this GE. So first we are going to find EG or GE square using the Pythagoras theorem. So it will be square of 12 plus square of 10. So that is 244 square root GE square. So I'm taking the square root on both sides. So what do I get? GE is equals to 15.62 centimeter. Now at this point, I'm going to take GE as, again, I will be taking the Pythagoras theorem. Now this time GE and 7 will be taken. So now, since we are going to calculate CE square, which is equals to 7 square, because this is going to be the perpendicular and this will be the base. So 7 square plus 15.62 square. This is equals to 292.98. And if I have to take the square root on both sides, so the final answer is 17.12 centimeter. And by correcting it to the first decimal place, I get 17.1 centimeter. Now we have to calculate the angle between the line CE and the base EFGH. CE and the base EFGH. I have to calculate the line between them. So for that, I will be taking this 17.1 as the base and the hypotenuse. Okay, I have to take the angle between CE and the angle between CE line. This line CE is 17.1. We have already calculated CE as the hypotenuse and the perpendicular is this one. So I have to calculate this angle. This is the angle that I have to calculate. So I will be using sine theta. So sine theta is equals to perpendicular over hypotenuse, which is 7 by 17.1. And I will be taking theta as sine inverse of 7 by 17.1. So I'm going to take the sine shift, sine inverse of 7 divided by 17.1. So the final answer is, let me see, it's 24.1. So let me confirm the answer as well. It's 24.1. Yes, I got 24.1. So it's 24.1. So students, I have completed this paper. I hope you have understood all the queries. I hope you understood all the questions. Again, I would like to tell you that do visit the website for the past papers. Only accounting paper has been uploaded. Next, this is in progress. So we will be uploading all of them. Bye bye.